Hey, I'm Han Lei, and I'm sitting here with the man who set this up, this documentary, or studimentary, as I called it, Nick Thiel.
I'm Nick Thiel, director and editor of it, and Han helped out a ton though. He was awesome.
Thanks a lot, Nick. Thanks, man.
Hey, no, thank you.
Look at this great montage of clips. I mean, how long does this kind of take you, Nick?
This only took me like 3 hours to edit. Once you put down a song and you just edit to the beat, pretty much.
He's just so good.
No.
And there I am with the worst haircut that a man could give himself.
I thought it looked pretty cool there.
Maybe I'll support it in a movie one day.
These are just montage and clips of actual production footage. We had a lot of people just filming for fun. It was never intended to actually make a documentary until I think we bought the DVD for Predator. And they had a cool ass special edition.
Yeah, we realized, oh my god, ours follows that pace by accident.
Yeah. And we're just like, oh, let's keep going with this.
Yeah. I mean, we always had all these clips, which you'll see miscellaneous, and all we need to do is really just place the interviews like Omar Gonzalez here. And Nick has plenty to talk about him.
This is my portfolio teacher, and I've had him for many classes. He's one of the greatest teachers at the school at Art Institute of Los Angeles. He teaches video production, and I pretty much just sat him down and was like, hey, can you just film and talk about me and talk about the movie and what it's like to be a student filmmaker? And I gave him like basic things to say, and he really went off on it and brought a lot of life to it. It was really cool. Like, he just kept going off and talking shit on me, and I think he did a great job doing it.
Yeah, I mean, not just, Omar, but definitely Mike Grotsky. He helped us out a lot.
Yeah, he's not in this, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of great teachers. And, I mean, for me, graphic design-wise, I mean, I had great teachers who just inspired me, but nothing in particular for these kind of little things. But it's always cool to work with the film teachers as well for me.
Yeah.
And there's Rico.
This is my roommate now. He wasn't at the time. He was one of the producers, one of two producers credited, but Han was a producer too.
Oh, thanks, man. But Rico's a real laid-back guy, even though he's looking real mean and aggressive right there, which is really funny.
No, he's totally the opposite of this.
Yeah.
He's just like bashing the script, and he was really actually supportive and helped do a lot of rewrites on it. And I'd like to thank him for all his help on it.
And Paul, yes.
Paul actually hooked up all the guns for us. He helped do a lot of the costume design and stuff, and I just loved interviewing him because he was so funny. He was just like such a bullshitter. It was great.
My experience
Yeah, I mean, it helped that we kind of planned these little cute segments like these 10 most wanted, and I'm a real badass on the run kind of thing.
Yeah, like it totally makes it seem like we were such a badass film crew. In reality, we were just a bunch of friends making a movie.
Yeah, which is the way it is when you're making a student film. I mean, try to get and do so much work into it, but you really just need to get so much free labor, and that's what kind of makes it move along a lot faster if you have good people who are willing to do that.
This is Eddie, the DP. He actually does speak English. This was all spoofed. Like, we just thought it would be really funny if we just made it like a Spanish-speaking DP, and like I just pointed, and it actually turned out really cool. I like your. I just want to bring this up. I love Han's little animated guy that came up.
Oh, thanks.
He says the credits.
It's a throwback to stop motion, just laying in some flat files and shifting it a little one by one on top of some Final Cut files. So that's an easy trick to do for you filmmakers out there.
This is actually Telemundo footage Eddie got in, was like, hey, let's make it seem like I shot this movie or whatever. Just another spoof. This whole thing is pretty much like taking off real situations and then we just take it to the extreme.
You know what I love here is Nick normally doesn't talk with his hands as much, and I'm a person who does it a lot.
Yeah, I rarely ever talk with my hands actually.
And look how emphasized it is when Nick was told because we were watching interviews on behind the scenes. It's a lot easier to watch when people are moving around a lot more, like with their hands or with their arms or legs, or doing something while you're watching them being interviewed. So just look at Nick.
I really do talk with my hands. I've never noticed that. I think it was something I did subconsciously from watching so many documentaries.
Yeah, he picked up on it eventually, but when you talk to Nick now, he's given up on it.
Yeah, I rarely ever talk with my hands. Like, look, I keep talking, and my hand's constantly going up. I never do that in real life. Now I'm actually doing it right now while I'm doing this documentary because we're talking about it.
And here's Shane, a great friend of both of us.
Yeah, Shane, I pretty much took him out like to his apartment gym one night. And I was like, hey, I just need to film you dress up like this character and pretend you're this big action star in Russia. And he really did a great job. This is one of his best acting movies.
It's really funny. But this is actually a real story that we just kind of exploited, just like a lot of these other things in this documentary. Like, we just filmed like this goofy subplot script thing, which doesn't really happen. But yeah, this was kind of a bad event. But you know, fortunately, the guy who got into the car accident was really okay. He felt bad that he couldn't make it to the set, but we were just glad that he was okay.
Yeah, that's not the actual guy, but that Shane just.
Yeah, Shane just filled in the role of just acting it out. Like, technically, there should have been like a dramatization under it, like in quotations in the little caption.
Right here is John May. I had met him in Profolio class, and we just had a really cool, fun relationship.
Shh. You hear that, Nick?
I'm gonna kill you, John May.
I don't know. Did you hear that?
I hear that. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's a sexy guy. He's one of the coolest guys at our school, and I was like, hey man, I want to make it seem like there's this rivalry and like there's this tension between student filmmakers. So John was all for it, and he let me use a ton of clips from his behind the scenes of his
Look at that. That
elevator
was so
girl.
funny. That's what it felt like when I had to try to get into one of our suits for the SWAT team thing.
He gave me a ton of pictures of him too. And
Look
then
at
I
those
checked
pictures
a
are
few.
hot. The one where he's holding the boot just looks so unnatural.
I remember one day I'm like, John, I'm just gonna follow you around and take pictures with you with all these cool people. And John was like, oh yeah, I'll do it, you know. And then I developed them, and they turned out great. John's really got a good look to him.
You know what I hate? I do really have a problem doing these quotation marks when I talk, and I notice that I do
You
it.
do that in real life?
I do it
Yeah.
in real life a lot.
Yeah.
I know you never really notice it because you don't really care, but after watching this documentary and watching yourself, you notice your little quirks. Like, look how many times I've done it in this whole
Yeah,
segment.
you just keep doing it. Wow, we really talk with our hands a lot. It's a documentary, though. You talk. This is actually the first documentary we ever did. I think we did. I mean, I'm not praising or kicking it, saying that we're amazing filmmakers, but I think we did.
Were you
a
about
good
to say
job.
kick ass?
I think we say kick ass throughout this documentary way too much.
We say it way too much, and thanks to Nick, I say it 20 times.
That's the power of editing. You can make someone seem like they said stuff so many more times than what they actually did.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. Motion graphics by Han.
This is nothing fancy, just really simple movement. It's just something that needed to be filled in. We didn't have all the pictures of the cast, unfortunately,
Yeah.
alone or clean. So what I had to do is just redraw them out because we wanted to show the second crew, but didn't have the pictures, unfortunately. So, hey, you got drawn by Han.
Now you're actually we're in the production aspect of the student documentary, and this was actually supposed to be a bigger portion, but
We planned to be a bigger
it
portion,
was
but
supposed to be the bulk of this documentary, and it ended up being like the smallest part. Like there's really not much to this production aspect of the documentary, but we just ended up using a lot of the footage people shot while we were filming, and then just talked about it a little, but nothing too big, really.
and those are my real lens. I mean, Nick and I have always agreed, like since we were met in high school and everything, we're like, yeah, if we ever get hurt or fall off,
Keep filming.
Yeah, just if we die, just keep on filming it. Make sure that is how I'm remembered.
Yeah.
Going out for the movie.
It's really true though. Like if we ever were to get hurt, like or die during the shooting, I would have it on tape.
All right, this is a really boring part because Nick edits it, so I say kick ass about 20 times, and he's talking about Angie being great. We already know that, but here's a story about Nick. One time we were filming this movie called Nick Lee 3, and we were doing this chase sequence on bikes because we were, all under age and we didn't have a driver's license yet, of course.
Yeah.
And we're just riding our bikes, and we just finished the shot, and Nick hits like some rock with the tire. The bike flips forward, and he falls. And you see, all of us are watching Nick fall, and he's holding the camera up way in the air, and he takes the bulk of the hit all over his body. It was a beautiful
I
thing.
was not gonna let that camera die, and I never will let a camera die. I will die before the camera dies because I'm like, I am not gonna reshoot that. That's good footage we got in there. That's a whole day's shoots to waste.
Well, at least not until we got insurance.
Yeah.
You know how you do that if we have insurance.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe if our
Which I like to say, iphomes.com. Visit us anytime.
This is actually the spoof of the real situation where the guy was hurt, and then we just decided to make a joke of it because on the day of the shoot, I actually thought I would have to act. So we just one day, me and Han were hanging outside. It was raining, and Han came up with the idea of me. I don't know why. How did you come up with?
Because
this
I thought,
idea?
why would this? Because I'm like, it was raining very heavily in California. There's like storms up, whatever for 3 or 4
You can't even
weeks.
see the rain.
You can't.
It's
You can't.
cold.
You can't film rain. Unfortunately, real rain. You have to have like the fake production rain that the hose shoots out to actually see it.
I mean, you look in the background.
You can see it.
It's cold.
And the reason why I thought about it because it's why would anyone wash the car in the rain? Because it's so silly, and that's what the whole idea of the Real OC is. It's just a really silly project. So I was
Like
just
one
getting,
of the worst movies ever made. And we're like totally like talking about it like it's the coolest thing ever.
But it was because
Like me fucking myself is the coolest thing ever.
I mean I had to direct Nick here, which was fun for me because Nick's a great director. So I've learned a lot from him, and just look at these.
Look at that acting.
Yeah, I got to really work with him and take these great camera shots. I just had to not overzealous and confident about my skill because man, it really was about your performance.
Well, actually, any girl that slept with me knows that that's the face I make when I actually orgasm. So the whole world will actually see my actual face when I orgasm now.
Oh god, that's awful.
Yeah,
God, I
actually
can
go,
tell you.
"Oh."
I had to crack up so many times when we were filming that. That was awful.
The Real OC, man, that's a good movie. I
Yeah.
really do like it. We should actually make the rest of it.
Yeah. I mean,
That's our
have
next
we
problem.
already mentioned how many times we were naked in this thing? God, I would.
Me and you just get naked throughout the whole
I
documentary.
mean, and you still get to really see me get naked, but I get naked way too much in this thing too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awful. I guess that's something we can apologize for, but hell, it happens.
I like right here all the little one-day roles, like how we're talking about, because this movie pretty much did have so many people just coming in. And this guy, Matt Smith, he was so cool. We're just like, hey, since we got such a small role, can we put you in the documentary? And-
I guess sometimes it pays off to have a very common name because we have a friend named Matt Smith, and that's how this guy got the role.
Yeah, this guy doesn't know that. Like one of our best friends is named Matt Smith, and I saw I was putting out a casting notice, and I saw the name of Matt Smith. I'm like, oh, it's my friend. I'm gonna cast him. And then I saw this guy. I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'll just cast him because he seemed cool, and he was actually one of the coolest guys ever. Like, I want to get this guy in more movies.
Yeah, definitely.
That's Eddie's cousin. He was a really good
Yeah.
guy too.
I mean, he's a good sport. I mean, he knew he was coming in just to get shot, and right there,
Like,
he's joking about like he was mad about it, but he knew what he came in for, and he was definitely proud to just even get in it.
And there's so much stuff Eddie shot for this documentary of him talking, and I feel bad because, like, it's 22-minute long movie or documentary, and like he interviewed him for like 20 minutes and got so much good stuff, and that was the only thing that got in.
Hey,
the
don't feel bad
documentary.
because a lot of my jokes got taken out too. Nick
Yeah.
edited this whole documentary toward him to make him look like the funniest guy ever.
Well, I wasn't the star of the movie. I haven't been a star of the
And
movie
look,
in a
and he's
while,
like,
so
you
I
gotta
had to.
look, you're making me look like the asshole here.
Look
Like,
at this, dude.
You're
This
like
is hilarious.
You're like, I'm gonna make Han look like an ass by taking off his shirt and trying to make it like he's the coolest guy
You
ever.
look like you're like some guy from like MTV's The Grind or some dance video. Like,
That's what you told me to be like.
I love
I'm
it.
like, all right, I'll take that, Nick, and I'll do it.
We should go back and like edit behind the green screen and put like dancing girls or something.
Dancing Girls.
Maybe next.
Maybe next time, yeah. Well, that'll be our next movie. Dancing Girls and Han topless.
Yeah, there it is. There's the
We'll
next
call it Boondock OC.
one. This is actual footage of us actually editing for the portfolio class. The class had all these G5 computers, and we would sit down and we'd have 4 hours to edit in every class.
And then also after class, just still sitting in there.
Yeah, it took a lot longer than just 4 hours per class. So. This is John Breaker. He's one of the crew members. He was one of the coolest guys, another director in the class, and we started up a good friendship after this class too.
Yeah, you could tell.
No, tell him about this. Han came up with this idea.
Like I said, I pick up on a lot of shots, and I don't really do heavy directing, but I like to direct on little things like this as well. And I was just inspired. We filmed this whole long sequence of me in the car, which we did use, but not the whole thing of handing the disc to Nick. And this just seemed more appropriate because it's still coming off a silly moment. I'm like, oh, Nick, I got this idea because we came back in, my room was dark, and I'm like, turn on the light, it'll look really cool, and just talk about it. Just sit on the toilet, it'll look really funny.
Like, I've been editing for weeks, and I finally had to take a dump because I hadn't taken a dump while I edited it.
And if you know Nick, he goes to the bathroom every 20 minutes.
Yeah, I got
swear.
the smallest bladder in the world.
But it doesn't mean like he's hung that way. Trust me, ladies, he's a horse.
This is actually another, this was shot a long time ago. You can tell Han's hair is constantly changing. This was shot for another thing we did called The Catwalk, and this was like, we were editing one night and he decided to film this spoof thing, and then We just put it in here because it actually worked in here pretty good too.
Yeah, if you could freeze it, you can actually see my penis right there.
Oh, really?
It's a quick freeze frame if you can get it before I zoom in, because
This is gonna be really popular with the ladies. I can tell.
I don't think it will be. I think this is the time where they're
you.
gonna go like microwave some popcorn and come back to the documentary.
Look at that, dude! Bam! That was. He actually had a sock on there, so I wasn't filming.
Oh, Nick.
Dude.
He's so embarrassed about that whole sequence.
You see the sock right there? There it is, and you sat down.
What do you mean? It's just the big black blurb. Look at that ass shot.
Look at that. Now this is for all you '80s movie fans. This is from the Karate Kid soundtrack. What's the band? It's just "You're the Best Around." Or something.
I forgot what the name of the band is, but I do love that song. You're the best. Oh, and look, this is Nick's popular ringtone that just drives me nuts. I mean, if
I love getting calls like that.
we're big on the vibrate now though, so don't worry about that.
You know how we didn't get enough.
This is Nick's car that I'm sitting in, and then he's actually laying in my bed. We're playing the opposite roles right here.
I like that look I give, just like look down at my crotch. You know, when you get up in the morning, you got morning wood, so I was this little spoof thing. And like I remember I showed my girlfriend, and she's like, "Why do you look down?"
That you don't know too much.
I'm like, it's a guy thing.
I like how you have to do her accent. Just because she's Asian, you have to go like, you have to give her an accent. What the hell is up with that?
She's gonna see this and kick my ass.
I hope she does now. But look at that. It was an overcast day that it made it for such beautiful shots. And when you see us talking about it for the deleted scene and second ending, that was shot on the same day. It was beautiful.
This was actually an accident. Like this was my TV studio class, and Angelo, who had been in a lot of other movies, was the producer of this, and he had a guest all planned out and ready to go. And I was just like, hey, if you ever need a backup guest, like we can put Han on. He'll totally do it. He's an actor, you know. And his actual guest kind of flaked out or couldn't make it, so Han came in that day and was talking about Until Forever, so we decided to use it for this documentary.
Yeah, I really don't know Vincent Sloan, and what you're about to see is me like going crazy and beating up. As far as I know, he's a great guy, and obviously I was told that he does these amazing things with the surfboard and everything.
Yeah, that's not Vince, that's actually me getting my head bashed into the toilet, and it was really...
But look at that acting, man!
That's acting, dude. Right up Puss in God, bitch.
I did a bunch of different takes of them. They were all awesome. I love it. And then I was just trying to prove to Nick that you got to give me lines in the next movie because you really cut them out and Until Forever.
I think Han had like 2 lines in the actual Until Forever, and I just was like, you know, it doesn't work.
I tell you,
editing. It's the power. Editors have all the power.
That's actually a poster I designed. Nick has a copy of it and stuff like that. That was a copy that Nick gave to me. You know, after you printed them out. But yeah, I designed a few posters. I actually redid a poster that looks like hopefully the DVD cover you guys got, like the front cover. So there's multiple options, and we just went with 2 styles, and it worked out well.
We were actually gonna shoot the actual portfolio show, and I told Eddie to bring the camera, but somehow he couldn't make it, so we actually had to spoof that shot right there. That's not the actual portfolio show, and me talking in front of 100 people.
And actually, that took Nick 20 takes just to even say that.
Yeah.
This is our chance to stop over $10 million worth of cocaine from polluting our streets.
Right here is like my worst acting ever. I was just not feeling up to acting in this thing that night or whatever. I did really bad there.
Yeah, you
See
can
it.
totally tell Nick is not in the scene.
Yeah, I think they like it. They like the movie. Yeah. There's Omar right here just going off, having a good time, just making fun of me. These are actually storyboards I actually drew, which you'll see in the deleted scenes. As you can tell, I'm a good storyboard artist.
You know what's really funny about that deleted scene and storyboard that people see is it's supposed to be the thing of her shooting Smith or Matt Smith or whatever.
The decoy.
The
Yeah.
decoy. But even you couldn't use that clip anyway where she's shooting because she needs to be in the car shooting.
Yeah.
So
it didn't
so
make
it
sense.
really wasn't shot at all.
Yeah.
But
Or Shane, like right here, kind of doing the funny accent thing.
Who's the guy?
Coming up here though, he actually fucked up his take. Like he actually messed up, but I kept it because I thought it was so genuine. It's so funny because like he's just busting up. And I thought it was so genuine and real that I had to put it in this thing. Omar right here is so good. I think he just like completely.
He's got the hand talking too. I mean, he doesn't do it as often as we do though.
Mm-hmm.
He's not crazy with it.
Yeah, we're pretty crazy with it. I like right here though how everything wraps up and we're like, this is actually what it's like to make a student film. We're not.
Yeah, I didn't get to make
we're not
the wrap up.
Spielberg's, yes. Oh yeah, we filmed a lot of Han doing this too, and well, that's the editor's power.
I like these end segments though. I mean, it really just kind of captures the whole documentary itself, and there's a lot of stuff that didn't get into it. Obviously, and people who didn't get a chance to talk about it. I mean,
so many people worked on this movie that and you feel bad because I didn't have time to interview everyone, and
or they didn't have time for us either. I mean, everyone has their own schedule. A lot of the other students have their own business and are filmmaking things too.
I love that picture of you and the Pelican.
Oh yeah,
all
that's
these random pictures. It's great.
Well, that's not random right there. Oh, that's
Born to be wild.
I hate that picture. I can't believe you made me take that, or you took it of me.
It's awesome. I really
So
like
it's
this
over.
credit sequence you did here. I think you did
Oh,
a
the
really
picture
good
montage?
Yeah.
You can tell there are little subtle things like, see, it's camera to camera. Eddie filming my ass, to tie into that Pelican joke when he was like reacting to me over there, or the butt thing. There's the cast. I mean, we didn't take all these pictures. I mean, thankfully some other friends donated some of these pictures on set when they were just hanging out.
And a lot of people were just filming for their own use, and I just was like, hey, can I borrow some of these clips? And that's how we got most of these clips. I mean, this was never intended. We never intended to actually make like a documentary, and then later on, it was just like, oh, okay, this is.
We knew we were gonna do some kind of behind the scene thing. We didn't think it would be a documentary
big,
though.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you and John May. You guys are like little lovers there.
I love John, man. He's a great.
Look at that look you gave him before he walked out of the room. That was a moment between you guys.
I love Omar right here. He's so genuine and real. It just that's the best acting, or maybe he's just being real. To be
See,
honest.
what you can't tell is, since it's cropped off from his legs below, Nick's actually down on his knees right there with Omar. That's why.
That's how I got the A, baby.
That's why Nick got his awards. But Nick, how do you feel, man? You're an award-winning director.
Oh, I'm just chilling. You're an award-winning guy too.
Award-winning guy. I haven't won no awards like this guy. This guy kicks ass. I had to throw it in once, man. Gosh, I can't believe we say that line too much in this movie.
Kick-ass documentary we did. This is a kick-ass documentary.
Yeah, look at those little
all
credits.
these people. Well, it's pretty much done. I just want to thank everyone who was a part of it.
Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this documentary, and
As much as we had fun making it.
you gotta kind of enjoy it if you listen to this. So we'll do another one of these.
Yeah. Every movie from now on, I think we need to make like a documentary dissing ourselves. Because it's cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right.
Goodbye, everybody.